Are you struggling to love God? So many people struggle and even cringe when they heard Jesus say that if you love me, then you obey my commands. That seems so far out there, and every time we fail, we feel like, how can we possibly love God? But there is one thing which I'm going to share with you that if you can grasp it, if you can get this truth in you, it will drastically change how you love God, and it will make obeying his commands so much easier. But I do want to warn you, this truth is simple, so simple that most people overlook it and don't receive it. So before I tell you this very basic, simple truth, let me pray for you. God, I pray for a heart of understanding. I pray for your eyes to be open to understanding, for your ears to be open to understanding, for your heart to be open for understanding. Lord, I pray for every person that hears this message, hears this truth, is able to receive it. I pray that you will be able to receive this truth right now. So what is it that I'm referring to? It is shifting your mind, shifting your perspective, shifting how you make decisions in your life from an I perspective to a God perspective. How many times do you make decisions based off of how I feel? Do I want to do this right now? Do I feel like doing this? Does this benefit me in any possible way? How do I respond in this moment? We have such a focus on self that we don't have our image, our sight, our perception on God. But if we can shift from viewing life to how do I feel? Do I want this? Is this something good for me? To does God love this? Does this make God happy? Is this in his nature? And you filter everything that you want to do or anything that God is calling you for. Anytime you're in a situation to do good, when you know to do good, but you don't want to do it, and you shift it from this place of thinking, do I want to do this, to does God want me to do this? That will ultimately and drastically change how you love God and your obedience and your walk to him. Now, this is a very simple thing, and I want you to get this because it will ultimately become a fuel for you to moving forward to loving God. But to help you illustrate this, let me give you an example. I do not like washing the dishes. It's not something I enjoy doing really ever. However, my wife loves a clean house. She loves it when I do the dishes. When she comes home and it's all done, she is happy. She feels loved. So when I come into the kitchen and there's a bunch of dirty dishes, I don't want to do it. I actually resist doing it. But when I perceive the situation through the lens of, but does my wife love this? Will my wife be happy if I do this right now? It actually changes my desire a bit and gives me the fuel to do that task. And now I'm not doing it begrudgingly, but I'm actually doing it with excitement because I know when she sees it, she's going to be happy and excited and loved. And if we can start to adjust our life to doing that for God, when we see someone out on the streets who is struggling and we look at them and we go, do I have time for this? Do I want to do this? And shift it to, does God love that person? Does God want me to do this? Does he love that? It completely adjusts our perspective and our fuel and our decision making, because it's less about us and more about God. We are in God's kingdom. We are in his domain. We are his children. We live to serve him. And Jesus says that if you love me, you'll obey my commandments. And when we look at a situation where we know to do good, and now we need the fuel to do it, all we have to do is switch our lens to, does God love this? Does God love this person? Does God love this situation? You know, there has been an outreach program that my church puts on a lot, and I have said no so many times, but I have been applying this truth for some time now to where I got in a situation where I kind of wanted to do it, but at the same time, I also wanted to just stay home and play video games. I really didn't want to do anything at all, but I put it through the lens of, does God love this? And I was like, God does love this. He loves praying for people. He loves outreach. He loves ministering and loving on people. And so it actually gave me the fuel to say, no, I'm not going to stay home and play video games. And yes, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to love on these people and participate in a ministry that I have been saying no to for years. I promise you that if you begin to shift your life through this lens and you start to do things that God loves, you start to operate into obedience to his word, the commands that he has given us, it will catapult you into intimacy with God. I hope this has inspired you to make an adjustment. And what I want you to do, I want to challenge you to find one thing that God loves and do that thing. And then in 7 days, leave a comment in the section of what it was. What did you not want to do? And what did you adjust to doing because you were obedient, because you shifted your lens to, but does God love this? I want to hear your success, your testimony in the comment section. And likewise, if you're struggling with this, if you have any questions, leave a comment in the section below. My name is Shane Gerhardt, and I make content that helps people ignite their passion for God. And if you struggle with this at all, check out my video right here on how to renew your mind to God's truth. Again, my name's Shane, and hopefully I'll see you there.